das coisas que eu mais gosto no meu trabalho são as entrevistas. E, pela ocasião do lançamento de Gladiador II, eu tive a oportunidade de entrevistar 4 pessoas envolvidas na produção. Ridley Scott, o diretor, que deve ser mais ou menos, acho que é a 5ª vez que eu entrevisto ele, e ele fala mesmo, é uma delícia entrevistar. Entrevistei a Connie Nielsen, algo que eu nunca tinha feito, e ela é um doce de pessoa, assim como o Fred Hechinger, que faz o Imperador Caracalla. Aliás, na entrevista dele, perdoem, mandaram ela para a gente com o som muito baixo, então vocês perdoem se houver alguma variação. E entrevistei também o Denzel Washington. Eu disse no vídeo da resenha que ele tinha sido osso comigo, não grosso, osso, dureza, porque ele foi perfeitamente educado, mas nitidamente pouco receptivo. Acontece, é do jogo, não é a primeira vez, não vai ser a última, e de qualquer forma ele deu algumas respostas muito boas. Então fiquem agora com as entrevistas. E se você gostar desse vídeo, não se esqueça de curtir, inscreva-se no canal e clique no sininho, e a gente se vê no próximo vídeo. Hello, Ridley.
Hello.
Such a pleasure to talk to you. What came first? An idea for a second Gladiator movie, or the need for a second Gladiator movie, and therefore the search for an idea?
I think the need to make one, because Gladiator I would not go away. It would not die. And I think the great thing about the platforms that run movies, I can press a button and see my very first film, it was now 45 years ago, in perfect condition online on a big screen. And I think that's a marvel. That's the best thing about the platforms. The films are preserved for you to watch and not sit on some dark vault somewhere. So I noticed that and was told constantly how popular Gladiator I was, and it kept, work. I mean, I've done 17 films since Gladiator I, so I've been pretty busy. So I don't sit there agonizing, what am I going to do to Gladiator II? And Gladiator II, it actually finally boiled down to, listen, you begin with the 2 people who are alive. What happened to Lucius, which is the big question.
Right.
And how did Lucius simply get shifted out of the scene? What happened there? So if you begin there, then you have a footprint of the story and the script. The script, it's really the book is the blueprint of what you're going to do.
You have this knack for making films that become touchstones, cultural touchstones.
Yep.
It's happened very often in your career. Why do you think? What is your instinct when you choose material, when you decide to make a movie that you know is going to galvanize the audience?
I don't know. I can't answer that, because to me, I was trained way back when as a painter and went to very, very good art school called the Royal College of Art with such people as David Hockney. Occasionally we would have Francis Bacon lecture us, or Freud would lecture. And so it was that level. And then painting for me is a very lone occupation, like writing a book. You couldn't be more on your own writing a book or doing a painting. So you become your own critic. There's no one to talk to.
Right.
And when you're painting, the canvas is constantly altering and evolving. And I think, to me, when you've come to the final solution, even then you're not quite there. And so filming to me is that. But as you do that, the best example was Blade Runner. I was brought a script which was written, adapted from Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. The play was a lovely story of a hunter who had fallen in love with his quarry. The whole thing took place inside an apartment because it was meant to be a low-budget movie. But I loved the writing. I loved the cadence of the writing. And I met with the writer, and we then met for 5 months thereafter and evolved it. Because I want to know is, if you have a world where this woman is not a robot, is virtually more human than human. I want to see what the world's like when he walks out that apartment. So it went like that, woof, and it just opened up. That's the evolution. And if a director can, the longer a director can sit with his writer, the better, because it could only be good.
And the more and more canvases will pop up.
Well, each film is a canvas, yeah.
Right. Ridley, they are asking me to wrap it up, but it's been a pleasure, and I had so much fun watching the film.
Thank you so much.
I was really engrossed by it, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, Connie.
Hello, how are you, Isabela?
I'm great, thank you. How are you doing?
Very good, very good.
Thank you for taking the time. It's a pleasure. And you hadn't been with Lucilla for some 25 years. How did you find her?
Well, she's got a few issues she has to deal with, and that makes her a great character to play. And I was just very excited to play her again.
Was it easy to slip back into that character?
Oh yeah,
after
yes.
Yes.
It was like I never left.
One thing I find very interesting about how Gladiator and now Gladiator II are written is that, well, it's a story of men vying for power, but Lucilla is such a pivotal character. So much of what is set in motion happens because of her. Did you notice that dynamic the first time you read the script for the first film? And did you notice how much your character has grown with time in this one also?
I did. It was just by virtue of like the wonderful setup of the events that go on throughout the film. It's just a really well plotted out story. And it really just makes all of us emotionally engaged for true reasons, for good reasons. And it was just a pleasure to go through those scenes.
What was it like working with Poe, an actor on just starting out and on a very steep upward trajectory at the moment?
You know, he just received an award from the Academy Museum Gala, and it's astounding what he has done. He is only 28 years old, and he started like, I think 5 years ago or something like that. It's incredible how much progress he has done in so short time. He's a very mature 28-year-old and unbelievably courageous, because for him to go from this type of movie like After Sun to Gladiator, it's a huge step, and having that whole burden put on his shoulders is an enormous thing a lot of other people would have cracked, and he did not. He is just so courageous and an amazing actor.
Is well, it's an amazing cast, isn't it? And I loved that Lucilla and Acacius have a thing going on with them. But I suppose in any film that takes place in a historic past, we can read something of the present. But I thought in this case, that is particularly true, and especially in the plot line that you and Pedro share in this film. Did you talk about it with Ridley? How much it resonates in the present, this film?
You know, it was so clear to me that Ridley himself, as he spoke about too, is that there's so many of the issues that we're dealing with today that people were dealing with in the past. We shouldn't be surprised at all. We think that we evolve, and on some levels we have evolved, and in other levels we still have a certain hypocrisy about what are the rules and why are they in place. And so people keep on having this hypocrisy. They are breaking the rules without acknowledging the fact that they're breaking the rules. And we see this in the entire world, in all of our biggest institutions,
Yes.
that we're breaking the rules, and yet we're having a hypocrisy about it. And I think that we're all scared in a certain way as to, the future of freedom. And I think that people want to have somebody speak to, well, what is the outcome when you choose not to have freedom? Well, take a look. This is how it looks.
Yes. Sorry, they're wrapping up, Connie. Such a pleasure to talk
Such
to
a
you.
pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello, Fred.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Now, Fred, you were such a sweet young man in White Lotus. What's gone wrong?
Yeah. Things have really taken a turn, Isabella.
Yes. How did Caracalla come your way?
Um, I've always wanted to work with Sir Ridley Scott. Um, and when the opportunity arose, I'm still amazed, honestly. I remember getting the phone call, and I was driving. My phone was connected to the car. My agent called through the phone, through the car, and I literally had to pull over to the side of the road to stop and talk because I was so amazed by this opportunity.
Your heart thumping.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, big time. Big time.
That's amazing. No, you were not even a toddler when the first Gladiator came out. Did you know of the film? Were you familiar with it?
Yeah, but from television. It was on TV all the time growing up, so
Yeah.
I watched it over and over again. I feel that it's one of those movies where at a certain point I was talking back to the television. I'd memorized most of the lines.
So you were a Ridley Scott fan and the opportunity arose. And now I don't think anyone has managed to to put together such a promising young cast in a film such as this one. You and Joe Quinn and Paul Mescal, you were all up and coming. You are the actors to watch at the moment. By the way, you were listed as an actor to watch recently, weren't you?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
thanks.
Yeah. So, what was it like working with them in this situation? Such a big production, Denzel Washington and Pedro Pascal and Connie, and the three of you.
I felt so lucky, honestly, to have that community on this. What you're saying about Joe and Paul, that we sort of are coming up into this thing together, it was really meaningful to be able to share in this and talk about our nerves and just complete amazement at being a part of this. I felt a real community there, and yeah, I felt that with everybody on this production. I also have to say, the great Connie Nielsen, who's such a fundamental part of the first film, and I think a reason that so many audiences are so excited and thrilled to see this sequel is because of Connie's involvement and because of her character, and the way that she was a leader on this film, the way that she spoke and shared about her experiences from the first one and kind of demystified the process was really generous and very meaningful to all of us.
I just talked to her and she's lovely, absolutely lovely. And how did you compose your Caracalla? We don't have a lot of historical record to go on as to what he was really like.
There's some record, and read all of the stuff from the time and read other accounts of we talked about Caligula in some ways. There are other Roman figures and emperors that put a little bit of zhuzh here and there. But I will say, Ridley and I also discussed very contemporary anachronistic references such as Johnny Rotten and Sid Vicious came into play.
Wonderful.
Even Beavis and Butthead were cited at certain points in the production.
That's wonderful. I love to hear that. Okay, they're telling me to wrap up, but really, Fred, it was amazing to see your work in Gladiator II, and I wish you all the best.
You too. Thank you so much.
Where are you?
Hello, good morning. I'm in São Paulo, Brazil, Denzel.
Okay. Good morning.
Such a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for taking the time.
My pleasure.
And I have to say, I had so much fun with your character in Gladiator II. And I'll bet the farm you did too.
Say again? I didn't
You
hear the
had
last
a lot of fun. It looks like you had a lot of fun doing it.
I have to I haven't seen the film with an audience, so I don't
Really?
know what the reactions are. I've been hearing about it, but I don't know what they are, but I'm curious to see.
Oh, it's so much fun to watch you, really, on the scene. And your character has a passionate side in the sense that he's fueled by resentment, things that happen in his past, but he's a very calculating man also. What is the way in for a character like that for you? Where does it start?
At the beginning. I mean, I don't know. I can't, there's no easy answer. You know, the way I work, I work till I'm where I need to be. So it could take a day, it could take a month, it could take a year in preparation. Gladiator is basically 48 years of preparation. I've been acting 47 years now, and this is where I'm at now. So what you see in Gladiator now at 69, going on 70 years old, started at 21 years old, going on 22 when I played Othello.
That's the most interesting answer anyone's ever given me to this question. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's that's beautiful. Do you've made a sensational Hamlet, Macbeth
Yes, thank you.
recently, and you are going to go on to Othello
Mhm.
in shortly. Do you think these run-ins with Shakespeare in this recent past, do you think they in any way informed what Macrinus is about?
I didn't think that. No, I didn't think. I
No.
never thought that. But no, no.
He's so large. He's larger than life, really.
Right,
He's
right.
really an epic character.
Thank you.
Yes. And I was interested because you haven't done a movie. You have an extensive film career, but never anything of this scale, have you, before?
You mean in performance?
Production.
In
Uh,
production?
yes.
No, probably not. And I mean, I've never. They haven't spent this much money. This is the most money they spent. We got done. But a part of that was also because we had the strike, so we had to shut down and whatever it was, 5-6 months. So it cost us an extra. It cost them an extra whatever it cost.
What did it feel like to be in Rome as Rome would have been in its heyday of the empire? What did it feel like to be there?
It was amazing. I mean, it steeped you in a reality. You know, the horses walking, everybody walking around. I mean, you felt like you were in Rome. You felt like you were in Rome.
And tell me about it.
What you got to ask me a question. What would you like to know?
Was it exciting to be in Rome? Was it wondrous? Was it?
I'm busy, actually. I'm working on what I'm doing, so I'm not there to
Right.
play. And so, no, it's not like what you see is the result of what I've done, not of how I felt while I was doing it.
Right, right. And what was it like to be reunited with Sir Ridley? What is it, 18 years after American Gangster?
Is it? You know, he's a master at his craft. And amazingly, he shot this film in 51 days, which is unbelievable. Yeah, I think he had I don't know, between 8 and 12 full camera crews. And it made our job easy, so we didn't have easier, so we didn't have to repeat over and over and over. And you know, the young boy, Paul was down there doing the hard work. I was just up there holding the goblet.
Is it exciting to work with a young actor who is really on a very steep upward trajectory, such as Paul is right now, and Joe Quinn?
I had never heard of him. Didn't know him from Adam. I heard about him, but I hadn't seen him work. And you know, he and Fred and all the young kids, they're all from the theater, which is great, and all going back. I believe he's going to do A Streetcar Named Desire now. I think
Yeah.
said
I
yeah.
think he's done it.
Oh, he's done it already. Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Mm.
So is it exciting to see other young actors on their way, such as you were when you were 21 doing Othello?
Yes, it is. It is. It is. It is.
And well, your son is on his way too, so that
Yeah,
must
both
be,
my sons.
yes.
Yeah,
So
my
it
youngest
must be
son
wonderful.
directed my oldest son in the piano lesson, and they're getting great reviews. And my oldest daughter, produced it. And well, my wife produced it. She's the real, but yeah, she was in charge of the production. But so I'm happy about that.
You should be, and it's such an honor to talk to you, really.
Thank you.
Such a, I don't know, magnificent actor,
Thank you.
and always wonderful to watch your work.
Thank you very much.